Volpo Studios.
So, do you know what I've thought this time around? Do you know how in Series 1 I got nicknamed Fat Controller? I've decided I'm going to chill. I'm just going to chill. I'm going to sit back a bit and just let it be.
I know what he's doing here, don't you?
No, I'm being serious. I'm just going to let it be.
No, what he's trying to say is that you and I need to step it up. That's what he means.
No, I'm not trying no subliminal. I'm not trying no subliminal. Oh my God.
Subliminal.
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 I'm not trying any subliminal messages.
Got it. Yeah.
And I'm not going to give it Fat Controller. And I'm definitely, I can't remember if we left it in or not, but that episode where I fucking lost my head, where I went nuts and Dan fucking got the arse and walked off, remember? Because normally we put our hands up and just say, I'm going toilet. Something like that. Dan just got up and walked out.
And the curtain went.
And this, you know, having known someone 42, nearly 43 years, I know instantly. You didn't even know. I said, Dan got the arse there. You was like, no, he didn't. I said, I'm telling you. And then afterwards we had words and he definitely got the arse.
Yeah.
But it was because I was giving it Fat Controller and I'm not going to... Listen, I didn't want to start like this, but I'm not giving it Controller. But I did buy something today that I want as... It's like a reveal.
Oh.
Yeah, so it's like a present for both of you for the beginning of season 2.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. But I'll explain about it.
Okay.
Let me just get it out.
Whoa, careful.
No, we have to do this for...
Be careful what you're getting now.
No, this is what they do on the radio.
Oh, okay.
So it makes it so the people feel a part of it who are listening.
Ah, some dramatic...
Like rustling it near the microphone.
Yeah. 5p plastic bag. Ooh, hello.
You had one before?
Yeah, I've had one of them. I like the other ones, the Wagwans, but...
I like Wagwans.
Yeah.
But yeah, you got a Magnum.
Oh, cheers, bro.
The reason why I got these, we have to drink them live while we're doing the thing.
Yeah.
And every now and again we'll check in to see how you feel.
Why?
Because they're strong. Ooh, 16 and a half.
Jesus.
It's a Jamaican wine.
So as we go on, are we just going to start speaking more yardy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
By the end of this,
they're memes. 1 week in Jamaica. 2 weeks in Jamaica. You seen them? Oh,
Yeah.
I love it. You two swinging dreadlocks.
All right, fucking Afro boy, taking the piss.
I'm just thinking out loud.
Okay, no need for that. Below the belt.
Because we've started series 2.
Yeah, brilliant.
Because we've started it quite comedic, I'm going to go straight in with, do you know, since we stopped recording, I've missed, and I spoke to Dan about this, but I've not spoke to you. I've missed, it became a big part of my life again, having you two in it on a constant basis, you know, weekly, just where we can check in and talk. I know it was a podcast, but it sort of forced us to talk about the stuff that was going on in our lives.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I've massively missed it.
Yeah.
I know Dan, I've spoke to Dan about it. He says he's missed it.
Yeah.
We're hoping that the people that listen to the first season have missed it.
Yeah, definitely.
It's took us, I mean, Dan's so busy anyway. 2 little girls, his job. Me and you at FSD has been ridiculous.
We've had a lot, haven't we?
And it's always, we intended to start season 2 May.
I can't even remember when we finished.
But this is the bombshell. I'm going to let everyone speak and say their bit because I'm not the Fat Controller this season.
No, but we like you steering the ship, but just not when you chuck it on us.
Yeah, okay.
Because everyone that I've spoke to have said he is good at the helm.
Oh,
he's
mate.
good at presenting it
mate.
and leading it, which I want you to
Do you
still
know?
do.
Yeah. Do you know that he's experienced broadcaster?
So he's that.
I have never said that. I've never ever said that.
No, you've never said that.
I said I work for the BBC. And do you know why I say it?
But how
Because
many
I
years
do.
it been?
It's been a few now, mate.
So I would say experienced.
2018.
I think you could definitely tell at the start, our first episodes, when we first started, you could definitely tell how often we did it, the stronger we become. You know, with the the listeners might not have, because some of the episode might have been moved about. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But we definitely know. I definitely could tell the difference from the first one to when we'd done quite a lot. But yeah, I 100% agree. I think you at the helm steering the ship, like Dan said. It
So
helps us.
you want the Fat Controller to stay in season 2? Is this basically what you're both saying?
Yeah, I'm happy with that. You just
James has not spoken yet.
Yeah, I'm happy with it. No, definitely. It works. For me, I think it really works. The listeners seem to, and the feedback we've had, seem to love it as well. So why change it? To go back to the original point, it definitely missed it. Yes, we've been busy and things going on, but yeah, looking forward to coming in and sitting in with you guys and sharing, what's been happening and how things are going on with the kids and stuff. Things have gone on recently with, I've confided in you and stuff. It's, it's been a miss, big miss. It's not like we haven't spoke. We have, obviously.
Yeah,
we've been in touch.
We've been away.
But been away, yeah, that was great. To get around the table and just to put the world to rights is definitely been a big miss for me.
Yeah.
You know what I was moving it on to? It was going to go really deep. So we started up, a few laughs, beer joking, comedic value. And then I was going to go, because of how stressful work's been, this is just me, because of how stressful work's been. And don't worry, I'm not going to drop any bombshells. I'm not back on the Solpadine or anything like that. But I see with my personality that I do need a vice when things get stressful. And if we had continued this podcast all the way through, I think I wouldn't have turned to this vice. So don't worry, I'm people who have read the book, I've not turned back into an alcoholic, but my alcohol consumption over this summer has gone up.
Yeah, but do you think that's coincides with like the Euros? Because when the Euros on, you and I and Dan came a couple of times, didn't they?
Getting hammered.
Yeah. And then we went to the concert. Kasabian was on it. Yeah.
We've been to a rave in Nottingham.
Yeah.
We went to Marbella.
Yeah.
I've been away with Leanne. I went away with the kids.
Yeah, I wouldn't say just yours. Mine definitely had as well over the summer.
As yours?
I don't know. Mine stays pretty constant. I drink a lot.
No, you don't. I don't know if we've spoke about this before in season 1, because obviously
I don't think we have. I don't think we've touched on how much we
alcohol
drink.
consumption. Me or just
no,
as
all
a
of us.
collective?
Just as
go on. You talk on yours
To be fair, I don't think it's much compared to a lot of people.
compared to me.
Yeah, yours is probably more than mine, but then you don't really drink through the week some of the times. Do you?
Let me tell you how mine goes, and then I want you to tell me sort of yours. And we've got to be totally honest with people listening, because when I've listened to podcasts or talked to other people, you two know me well. I'm a real open book. Sometimes people cringe at when I say certain stuff that I say. And obviously people have cringed about stuff in the book because it's been really open. My biggest problem is my breaking strain is like a chocolate fire guard, because I'm like, right, I'm not drinking tonight. I already know that when I wake up in the morning. I get up, I train. That's one thing that's good for me. I train most mornings. I go for a run, take the dog for a walk, then go to work. You get home and you're a bit stressed, but my discipline is good if it's just me. But then Leanne, my wife, who gets a bit stressed at work, running around everywhere, and then their thing after the shift's finished, she owns a cafe, by the way, their shift, when it finishes, one of the girls will go, Prosecco time. All the customers are gone. They've had a real rush day. So I've said to her, listen, don't drink tonight because we ain't drinking. And she'll go, yeah. And when one of them girls goes, Prosecco time, she just thinks, oh yeah, I'll only have one. So she has one, and then every time I ring her, and it might be me looking for an excuse, but I ring her on her way in from work and on my way in from work. What we doing tonight, babe? What we having for dinner? Blah, blah, blah. We have that normal chat. And then I go, you had a Prosecco? And she goes, yeah, the girl said Prosecco time. So I've only had one, but I don't need to keep drinking. Well, I said, yeah, but you've already drank now.
What,
so then
keep going?
bang. No. So then bang. I said, do you want me to get one from the garage on the way home? Because I'll get a couple of beers.
You latch onto it.
And then I latch onto that, and then I won't get steaming in the house. I never get steaming in the house, but I will have a few beers.
Yeah.
So where you said you don't drink in the week, through this summer,
If that happens.
I actually have done probably 2 or 3 nights a week, and then obviously I drink most Fridays, most Saturdays, not to oblivion like Marbella, but I will have a drink. And then all of a sudden, and do you do this as well? Do you look at someone else who's close to you, or an acquaintance, or someone that's down the pub every night, and you think, yeah, I'm drinking quite a bit more than I usually do, but he definitely drinks way more than me.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Well, I'm in the painting game.
He just said that a minute ago.
He does do that.
No,
People do that though.
No, he called himself out. I wasn't saying him. I said I don't drink as much as some people. And he said himself. I didn't say it. But I'm in the painting game. All painters are pissheads.
You ain't a pisshead.
No, that's what I mean. I look at some of the lads. Like there's lads that will...
Don't name no names, bro. Don't name no names.
On a Thursday night, that's their drinking night. And they'll have 10 cans, bottle of wine,
Bastard.
and then move on to whiskey.
Fucking hell.
And still come in on a Friday.
Jeez.
And you think, they don't seem that drunk.
Yeah, but they can't cut in.
Yeah. They're like,
Yeah, well, I'm not saying they do much on a Friday, but because you know when they've had their, but they do that every week.
can't cut in.
This is what I mean. This is why this is an important point. So most people, I think, would look at that and think, well, I ain't nowhere near as bad as that. So the 3 or 4 cans I have a night is not bad. But your doctor, this is why I got scared over the summer, because I went docs for something totally different. I think it was just blood pressure or a blood test or something. And he was like, oh, do you drink? And I said, yeah, I feel like I drink a bit too much. Oh, what do you drink? So I told him, and he was like, he looked at me like I'm a fucking alien. And he was like,
I couldn't put a number on it though.
he was like, that is way too much. He was like, I'm telling you, you're heading towards the edge of a cliff. And once you go over it, kidneys, liver, heart disease, strokes. He listed all these things.
You're opening yourself up.
Yeah, he said, you're opening yourself up to all that. And he said, does your wife drink? And I said, well, yeah, she Prosecco and blah, blah. How much? And I said, well, I'm only taking a guess, but such and such. And he was like, what the?
Oh, really?
Yeah, he was like, for both of us. But when you get home, you look at the guy down the pub who's there every night who has 5 pints, and you think, mate, he's still cracking on and healthy.
I don't even think I want to start on a Monday because I know my drinking from a Sunday rolls into a Monday. So I don't even know where my drinking week starts. So if you say Monday, I've carried it on from a Sunday. But on a Tuesday, I train and then I'll go for a beer afterwards and have 2. A Wednesday is normally when I try and abstain, but sometimes Laura's work from home, and if she's stressed out, she does the same as Leanne. She's like, I'm going to open a bottle of wine. And I'm like, a little bit, damn it, but a little bit.
Yeah.
She's opened the wine.
That's how I feel.
I would never be damn it. That's the problem with me. I won't be damn it.
Thursday, I train and go for a couple of beers afterwards as well. Then the weekend starts. So Friday, yes, I'm home. Let's have a few beers. So I'll have 4, maybe 5 cans, and then either I'll go on the wine if we open wine. Saturday, similar. Sunday, I class that as a drinking day, so I'll probably have 4 or 5 cans.
Sunday.
God
Yeah.
damn.
But then it rolls into Monday, because if you've not drank all your wine, then you'll have a few beers.
For me, Monday, Tuesday, I tend not to, or I don't have a reason to. Wednesday, I like to have a drink on hump day. That's been like a habit I've had for years. Wednesday, I have a drink, but the Monday, Tuesday, no. Thursday, no. Then Friday, not always been, but then over the last couple years, it's been down the Forge, down the Castle, or at home, have a few beers.
You don't
Saturday,
really drink at home?
Not really.
No.
Saturdays I like a drink. Sundays, if there's a good match on, footy match on, I'll have a beer or 2, but I won't go mad.
Yeah.
And then that back onto Monday, back onto it, like no alcohol.
I don't know how I'll get past it. No, because I like after training going, so I'm drinking
Yeah.
on a Tuesday and a Thursday. That's it.
Yeah, but that's it. If obviously vets football. If we train on a Thursday night, which is very rare now, and obviously I ain't really playing much anymore at the minute. But if we would train on a Thursday night and when we go to the Bluebell in Desford, we would just plug in that. We would have a few beers then. For me, I guess it's what's happening and what's going on. I think this summer though has been heavy. I have noticed this summer's been.
Drank a year's quota in Marbella.
We did. We had a good time in Marbella.
That was needed for me. I needed that.
Well, let's because this is an open and honest podcast. We've always said that. Let's talk about it. You're giving me the the slow shake. No, but you're single. Dan's married. I'm married. We go out to Marbella for 3 or 4
I'm
days.
single.
No, you're married. Oh no, yeah. But you're with a life partner with 2 kids.
Yeah.
You're basically married. And we went out to Marbella for a bit of a blowout, but also we took FSD staff with us, and then there was a space left. So I said to Dan, do you want to come? And he said, I'd love to. So there was 8 of us. We had a little villa, little apartment. Mm-hmm. We were all in the apartment and we had such a good time.
It was wicked.
For 3 or 4 days, I know me and you ain't got no hair, but we kind of let our hair down.
Yeah.
All the stress of FSD and work and everything that's been going on all last year, we just went out and had a blowout. And the great thing that I loved, we ain't spoke on this yet, but I think I feel it from you and you feel it from me and we feel it from each other, where it was just, we needed it.
Yeah.
It was brilliant. And one of the things that I loved is us at our age group. So there was 4 older guys.
Yeah.
And there were 4 younger guys.
Yeah.
They were like 18, 19, 20. 2 of them my sons, one of them your son, and one of the guys that works with us at FSD.
Yeah.
And then there was me, you, my brother, and my business partner, Owen. And we went over there to, reward the youngsters because they all work for us at some point, or go to the academy.
Yeah.
But, when we was all together and getting ready, that was, this is what I told Leanne, that was my favourite part.
In the apartment?
Oh my God.
So funny.
The youngsters were in control of the music, but then I see my 42-year self shuffling in the bedroom, getting ready, and they were doing their thing, and it was like 2 different age groups coming together and all vibing.
It was so funny.
It was just brilliant. That was my favourite part of the holiday, the hour or 2 before we went out.
I've said that.
They're getting ready.
I loved it. And it was exactly what I needed. And my missus never, ever gets the arse with me about going out, about coming home late, about having a few too many beers. But at the end of that holiday, I think I started to love it a bit too much. I didn't do anything. I was like, I'm a consummate husband and human being. I would never obviously cheat on my wife or overstep the mark in any way. I don't think any of us would. But you lose yourself.
Check each other.
We would check each other.
100%.
But you lose yourself in that sort of party vibe. And normally where I would ring my wife probably 3 or 4 times a day when I'm away from her, that turned into once a day. And then it was like missing a few calls, and it was because I was having a good time, and we're fine now. But for the first couple of hours when I got back, she weren't happy. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which I totally understood.
Yeah.
So me as an older man now, whereas I would have years ago got the arse about that.
Yeah, yeah.
I've just got back from holiday and you're fucking going on like that. Fuck off. And we would have had an argument and it would have gone mental. But now,
it would have been messy.
Yeah, it would have been messy. But now you're older. And you think, let's communicate about this. And then she tells me from her point of view, and then I say from my point of view, and then you conversate, don't you?
But it's real growth to be able to look at a situation and go, you know what, fucking hell, I was wrong here. I was wrong here. I've let that control my emotional control how I've acted. It's something really powerful about being able to take ownership of that back and go, I fucked up here, and just own it and go, I'm sorry, I was out of order.
Oh, that takes massive.
A lot of people still can't do it. And you know me, I'm really stubborn, always been stubborn all my life. But I think over particularly the last few years, I've really sort of worked on myself and made that kind of effort to start being more...
Having more empathy for others.
I've always been empathetic. Yeah. I think that's in me anyway. I think I'm not someone who doesn't feel when other people are going through stuff, even to the point sometimes where it can affect my own mood. But what I mean is being able to, something's gone wrong, or maybe nothing's gone wrong, but you've reacted in a certain way, and maybe your stubbornness or your pride is not allowing you to see anything other.
So, or your
pride
comes into
yeah, that. So up until a few years ago, if someone had done something that I thought, you know, and they've really reached out or apologized or done whatever, or trying to make something right, but for me, do you know what I mean? It doesn't resonate, and my pride would be like, no, close that off, get rid of that person, block that person off, do this, forget that situation, whatever. Now, over the last few years, particularly, realise it in some ways you need to do that. You need to have your boundaries. You need to be able to push certain people away. People are not on your train or in a way that's helping you. You need to be able to just go, off you go.
100%.
Right? But some people, they might have done something, that you don't agree with, but they've done that for themselves or in order for them to feel some kind of way. And then they might have want to sort of come back to on your way or whatever. I don't know where I'm going with this, but your pride is gone. Nah, fuck that.
Yeah.
Off you go. And you shut it down.
Yeah, well, this is exactly it. So what you're explaining there is exactly what happened between me and Leanne. So I'm feeling like, just thinking of me selfishly, I'm thinking, I've had a great time away with two of my oldest boys, my best friend, my brother, my business partner, and your son, who's like, I'm like his uncle, and then the other kid that works for us, Ewan, great lad. We've had such an amazing time, and you've got the arse. How fucking dare you get the arse? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But when you flip it and you go into Leanne's shoes, and I normally call 3 or 4 times a day, hey, babe, you all right? Oh, we're having a great time of it. And it's gone to once a day and really quickly trying to get her off the phone. Yeah, we're just going somewhere else. So I'll talk to you in a bit and then don't call in a bit.
But your natural behaviour's changed.
Yeah.
So that would be affecting Leanne. She'd be going, well, why is
this is what I'm saying.
Why is he doing that
so
now?
You
don't
have
normally
to
do this. So what's he doing out there? And
you have to flip over to her train of thought and forget about your train of thought for a minute and then think, oh shit, I get it.
Yeah.
I do this.
And then when we're talking, the conversation is much easier. Within an hour of being back, boom.
Yeah.
We're back.
Yeah.
Because she sees that I see the understanding.
Yeah. It's so important. And I think over the last few years, for me, that's what I've sort of got. You know, 100%. There's been situations that I regret because of my pride. My pride has got in the way of certain things. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'm not one who tries to live with regrets. I don't believe you should live with regrets. Like, things happen because they happen. But yeah, definitely situations where I've let my pride go. Nah. And then I'm like, oh shit, why did I do that? Why didn't I just breathe a little bit?
Take a breath.
Yeah, take a breath. You know what I mean? And now I would give anything to go back to that moment to go, yeah, you know what? It's not a problem. We can sort that out. We can do this, we can do that. But
a lot of people can't do it. I think it's not a superpower, but it's one of them where you need to be able to do it, where you can delve into this is my view of it, and this is why I'm angry, but can you see it from the other person's side, why they're feeling like they do? And I do that a lot. But it can be to your detriment, because then you end up having the conversation from both sides in your head before you make a decision to speak to someone or change something or do something in your life.
Especially if you overthink as well.
Well, that's what I mean. That turns into overthinking. Yeah,
because then it becomes like, oh yeah, but what about this? What about that? And then you're questioning yourself, then you're questioning them, and then it all goes.
That plays into anxiety, Zans.
Yeah.
But you've got to see from the other side, but you can't delve in too deep. And that's when you've got to let it out and have the conversation. Because if you're having the conversation in your head, all you're doing is playing it over and over and over, anxiety pops up and it starts bringing you down. Whereas if you project it to the other person, have that conversation, it could all be fine. You could be worrying about nothing in a conversation.
Nothing.
So it helps.
But what if
getting it out?
What if you do that, yeah, and you look at that other person and you hear their side, but your belief of that situation is still as strong as why you've reacted the way you've reacted?
Yeah. Choose your battles.
Then what do you do?
No,
Choose
then
your
you tell them.
battles.
No, I think then you tell them. I've done that with Leanne. I've said, listen, I swear to God, babe, I've come out of my way of thinking to your side, and I'm seeing it from your point of view with how I've acted, what I've done, the situation, whatever it is, and I still feel correct. And that's normally when we argue. No, it is, because you get to that point and then she's like, well, I don't see it like that. We don't argue.
It's a stalemate, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a stalemate. So you have that. It's like every marriage, I think, or every partnership. You have that stalemate. She thinks she's totally right, and Leanne does what I do. She'll come out of her way of thinking, put herself in my shoes, look at it from my angle, and I do the same with her. And they're the only times, and that's why we've only really, I'm not patting us on the back for our marriage, but it's a strong, good marriage because of that.
Yeah.
So, and that's why we've very rarely had stalemates and when we have a stalemate, we don't talk to each other for 3 or 4 days and then one of us breaks. I'm not going to say who it is, but normally it's Leanne. And then, that was shit, wasn't it? You're supposed to cough as you say,
yeah.
Leanne. And normally that's how it happens. But we've very rarely had them kind of stalemate standoffs because
you
don't
can't
happen
agree
a lot.
on everything though, can you?
No.
Because at the end of the day, everyone's been brought up different. Everyone sees everything through their eyes. And it's like in every argument, I mean, you're talking about her side, his side, or their side, and then there's the truth in the middle. Because, you know, when you're asking, you tell me your side of it.
Yeah.
Now you tell me your side of it. But that's both of yours opinions of what that's your side of what it's been. But then down the middle,
there's always 3 sides, mate. Your side, their side, and the truth.
Exactly.
That's what I think.
You just nicked his saying. He just said that.
No, he didn't.
He fucking said that.
Did you say that?
Yeah.
What, in that exact
Oi,
same way?
That Magnum has fucking blown your fucking ears off, mate.
Did you say it in the same way?
Yeah.
What, them exact words?
I say it quite a lot, actually.
Yeah, so do I.
Oh. Well, maybe they were the same person.
Listen, from the comedic start that we had, we went quite deep there. I'm not trying to wrap it up. Let's go over the first season, not individually from the guests that we had on, but I mean from what you feel. You know, when I say talk about the first season, what would you say?
I would say therapeutic would be one word that I would use for that. For me, personally,
Yeah.
being able to sit and talk and be open in a safe space, and actually to listen to the guys we had on. Some of the guys we had on were unbelievable. Unbelievable. And I know for series 2 as well, some of the ones are going to be unbelievable. There's some corkers in there. There's some corkers coming up.
Mine would be proud for season 1. Because obviously he told us the numbers, but numbers-wise, he was happy with them.
More than anything you thought was going to listen in.
Yeah.
Yeah, me
100%.
too.
Really? I'm disappointed with the numbers.
Yeah, well, no, I get what you mean.
No, they're fucking good numbers. Surprised me.
Numbers. And it's...
Surprised me.
Yeah, so proud and humbled by the amount of people that listen to what we've got to say, or the people that we bring in, or guests that we think could be interesting. I'm looking forward to build some more and get more ears listening and help more people, because I've had a lot of messages about how many people it's helped, and we've took too long to get this therapy back to the general public.
Fucking hell, mate.
I feel like clapping him for that.
That was
He
unbelievable.
He brought that in like a proper broadcaster. I'm turning
Mate,
you
I
two into
think-
fucking broadcasters.
Yeah, well, you
I've
get to
got
practice.
goosebumps. I've got goosebumps, mate. Fucking hell.
You get to practice all the time.
Proud.
We just come
proud.
in.
They said proud.
Proud.
For me, proud.
I started thinking Martin Luther's fucking turned back up.
Fucking hell.
Cheese and bread.
I could have
Al
stepped it up a few
Pacino, any
notches
given
as well.
Sunday, that was.
He should have gone like that. Proud.
That was good, mate.
It was excellent. And now he's put the pressure on me to deliver mine.
Yeah. So therapeutic, proud, and humble. He said humble as well.
Yeah.
And that's a big one. Very humble.
I ain't even thought about this because it's always off the cuff. It's quite a personal one to me because a lot of people, obviously, people who are listening to this, they don't know me personally, but they probably feel like they know my personality obviously more than you two because I'm on, you know, I'm a professional broadcaster. Sorry. No. So obviously, I don't need to say it. They probably know my personality a bit more. And what I would dread to think, because someone said this to me the other day, they didn't say it to me, it come up in a conversation. They think, is he really like that or does he put it on for broadcast purposes? You know, like shouting on the goals and doing what I'm doing. And I would hate to think that people thought that about me, like, or any of us. And what I'm going to have to use his word, but what I'm so proud about of Series 1, when you listen back to all of it, because I've listened back to it and the episodes, we don't deviate once from the people that we are. I don't think people have seen, I think I said this in one of the Season 1 episodes, I don't think people seen, especially your two's full personality of who I know you as, but obviously this is new to you. So, you don't expect that in Season 1, but we do not deviate from who we are. When we talk with each other, we talk with acquaintances, friends, new people that we meet, that was us on the podcast. Do you know what I mean? There's nothing put on or laid on thick.
Yeah.
And that is what I'm so proud of, what came out of Season 1 from all of us. Like, I feel like I was myself. I look at you, James, and the way that you spoke and what you said, and it's you. And the same with you, Dan.
You're going to say not you then.
Not you.
No,
because he had a big pause.
Yeah.
He had a big pause as he turned around.
And this is the big one for me from Season 1. So that was one of my points. My second point is people will say things, write things, do things on social media or out in the public domain that they'll say something because they think that the people listening, reading or hearing it think that's what that person wants to hear, so I'm going to say it. And we said, and I said, I think in the first episode of Season 1, even if we only have one listener and it helps that person, that could be portrayed as, oh, he's just saying that. Really, he wouldn't want one person. And I think, I said that clearly we wouldn't want one person. But if there was only one person listening and we felt we had helped them, that's powerful. So what I'm trying to say is I never say anything, and I don't think you do, James, and you definitely don't, Dan, where we don't believe in what we're saying. Do you get what I mean? So I don't say, that's why I said I don't care about the numbers. And that's why when you were talking about being humble and proud because of the numbers, I honestly don't think like that because of the numbers. I'm proud of the content we put out. I'm not proud of the numbers. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
So if I say, and we say as a group, we don't care how many people listen, but if you listen and it helps you, that's what we're proud of.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's what I've really enjoyed about Season 1.
Well, the feedback, that's what I said it at the closing show. The feedback.
You should have read one of the feedbacks out anonymously because
Yeah.
the feedback's so powerful. That's what makes me buzz. So when the producer rings up and he says, this is how many numbers it's been, I'm over the moon with the numbers. I don't get buzzing about that. But when Dan reads out one of the, sort of testimonies that comes in and says, when is Season 2 out? Because Season 1 did this for me. That is why we started this podcast, as well as being together.
Yeah.
And, what we've already spoke on, how much it helps us as individuals.
It goes without saying that when we meet up and have these chats, it helps each other. We help each other, don't we? In here right now, when we all talk to each other, we're helping each other. But then we're broadcasting this to other people who we don't know. Obviously, there's people we know who listen in.
Yeah.
And we've had great feedback. People who you don't think are listening, by the way. And you're surprised. They're like, oh, I listened to your podcast. You're like, what? Really? Have you had that? I've had that loads. And I'm really surprised. People I would never think would even listen to it and give it the time of day. Or they would, the kind of people I think would listen to it and go, yeah, whatever. You know, that kind of. But they're actually in it and they're listening to it every episode.
Yep.
And I like that episode, and I didn't quite like that one, but I like this one, and I like that one, and I didn't quite understand that one, or, you know, and you're like, really? You've listened to it that much?
Yeah.
I'm really, really surprised. But like I said, when we get together and when we do it, we're helping each other, and then when it goes out to the other people, it's helping them as well. So it is really, really powerful, and it's humbling, really humbling, because never, ever, like I'd love, you know, in my job, for the last, 10 years, I've loved being able to help young people and try and mentor them, and, you know, whether it's been the coaching, the teaching, the mentoring, all those things I've done. It sits well with me that we're doing this. And it's a nice feeling to know when we hear the feedback and we get feedback, and it's just brilliant, isn't it? And really, it is really humbling. Yeah. Really humbling.
So you're on the same page as me. The feedback gives you more than
numbers.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Like when Dan was saying, like before we started today, and you were saying about someone's hounding you, and you read out a message that someone had sent you.
Yeah.
I was like, wow, powerful. It's powerful. Because who would think little old Dan, James and Matt from Leicester would be able to speak and chat and have a be themselves and have a laugh, but it's helping people in a way that, you know, it's not a normal way, is it? It's not when all we're doing is talking, and we're talking about our lived experiences.
I love it. I can't wait to get another guest in.
Yeah.
I love it. Even though I don't talk a lot, I take a lot from it, and I listen. I don't know. I think I like being involved in the conversations in this space. It helps me a lot, and that's probably why it helps other people. I think it's because it is quite raw. It's not rehearsed, or we're not trying to be, you know, like there's people that pop up and they're telling you nutritional information, but they're dancing while they're saying it. It's people that are trying to get famous and trying to get hits and talk. We're just talking from our lived experience and getting people in that we find interesting, and we put it out there. Which
this ain't about fame, is it, for us?
No, exactly.
Fucking hell. This ain't about that. It ain't about, like you say, likes and clickbaiting and all that. Yeah. It's about people who we've come across in our lives, experiences that we've had, and just sharing them. Because the people out there that might need to hear from the people we bring on, and there's people out there who might have had similar experiences to what we've gone through, and they might need to hear how we've gone through that. Do you know what I mean?
That's why I spoke on tonight the drinking thing, because no way am I gone back to being an alcoholic. So if you're listening to this and you think, fucking hell, he's on the ropes again, it's not that.
It's Anthony Joshua.
Yeah. But yeah, so it's not about that. It's about what's powerful is lived experiences, because when I closed off from everyone and just drinking and taking drugs, and you're doing it all on your own and hiding stuff from you, Dan, and blah, 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 blah. If you could put your earphones in and listen to something like this where you can relate, I would have been like, oh shit, I ain't the only one going through this shit.
Yeah.
He feels like he's drinking a bit too much, or he's single again at 43 or 44. Do you know what I mean? I'm not digging you out. And Dan's...
You fucking bastard.
No, but do you know what I mean? It's an important point.
I'm 43, by the way.
43. I'm 43 on Sunday. But do you know what I mean? When you just talk this everyday life, and the guy that's sitting there that don't really talk to his work colleagues or his friends because he feels embarrassed, or he feels shit, they ain't going through this, or I ain't saying it. And they're on their own, or a woman's on their own and they don't want to talk. And then they hear us talking like this, and what I've said about Leanne, and, you know, what we've all shared and what some of the guests share from series 1. And it just makes it more normal to be how you are, instead of, I'm the only one that's like this. Fuck it. Do you know what I mean? Because that's where I got to.
Yeah.
And that's
No
why,
one will understand.
Yeah, no one will understand. People will laugh at me. I feel embarrassed. Fucking hell, I can't say that to anyone. Fuck it. I'll say anything on this podcast. I will. Because that's how I said to you two, I wanted to build it.
We agreed.
You guys agreed. We've all shared things that where you feel really vulnerable when you're saying it. And you're like, oh, fucking hell, do I really want that going out? And then you ring the producer and you're like, maybe cut that bit out. And then he's like, well, it's supposed to be open. And, oh, okay, leave it in. And then it comes out. And then normally on situations like that, that's when you get the messages say, oh my God, I related so much, blah, blah, blah. Do you know what I mean? And that's what we can never lose on this podcast. And that's why I'm saying from season 1, numbers are great, because we want as many people to hear it as possible, because we feel like it might help them. But really, you want people to gain something from it, and feel, listening to us and the guests that we bring on, that some of the things that they think is terrible in their life is actually quite normal. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, and you're not alone.
Yeah, and that's would be my message from season 1.
That's what I would like. I mean, you talk about numbers, but that's what the message that I would like, that would spread far and wide and reach as many people as possible. Because there's times in your life, and it's happened to me a lot, where you think, I'm on my own. This is just how I am. No one else is like this. No one thinks like this. No one digs herself out. And everyone goes through that kind of stuff. Everyone. There's no one, because all that people look at is, do you know, if you're looking at a show reel on Instagram and then you're comparing your life to it, people see that and they're like, oh, they've got a better life than me. They're always doing stuff. They're killing it in life, but they're probably feeling the same as you.
Listen, it's been a brilliant first episode back of season 2 of something that we're all so passionate about. We're so pleased that you guys are listening and continue to listen. We do hope it helps you. You're out for first episode of season 2.
Peace out.
Short and sweet. Dan, you're out for the first episode of season 2.
We're back, baby.
Fucking hell,
Fucking hell, is that the Joker? Or
I was going to say that was like the Joker.
Wait, what was that from? I feel I'm back, baby. It's from a film.
Yeah, it's from Hangover.
Is it?
Where they're in the car and they're all laughing and he's like, we're back.
Yeah. It's because we're on the Magnum. We're back, baby.
Yeah, but then you're supposed to do it with a Jamaican accent.
No.
I can't see we're back.
Go on, do it.
How do you do a Jamaican accent?
Don't know, try
We're
it.
Back?
Go on, if you're bad.
Oh, blood clot, we're back, you know.
Go on, Dan. Go on, Dan. And all that leaves for me to say is, listen, thanks for listening, and we'll see you in episode 2. What I will say is we've already recorded 5 or 6 episodes of season 2, and some of the guests that we've had on are absolutely amazing. So hope you enjoyed it. Hope you keep listening. We'll see you next week. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Good.